Ooh, that looks tasty. Welcome folks, today the Hungry Gamer is back with another mini review, and today we're talking about Millennium Blades from Level 99 Games and designed by Brad Dalton Jr. Now, the reason that I'm doing a mini review, and I have to apologize to Level 99 Games because I just messed up my calendar. I thought this game was launching in a month. It's not. It's launching in 3 days. And so I just don't have my footage of the game shot. But rather than not have it done, not have it ready, not be able to give you all any of my thoughts on the game, I decided I'm going to do a mini review here. And I do apologize for not having images, but I will say if you really want a good overview of how the game plays, do check out Michael Kelly's solo video. There will be solo available in the campaign, which I actually did not get to experience because my copy does not have that. It's an expansion. But definitely check that one out because it's a very good explanation of how the game works. Now, with that said, this is a very unique game. And I'm going to break down my likes and my quibbles in great depth because this is one of the more unique games that I have ever played. And I really want to make sure that you understand. On its surface, this is a game where everybody is a competitor in this collectible card game. And ostensibly, you are building up your deck in one phase of the game. This is a real-time phase of the game where you're going to be buying new cards and selling cards, and you will literally be selling your cards and putting them out there, and other players can buy them. And if they buy them, you get a chance to then buy more cards, because you can only sell, I believe it's 4 cards. You have 4 little tokens that you can do that with. And you're getting money. You're getting money by selling cards, using that to buy other cards, trying to build up the deck that makes the most sense for you. But you're also going to be able to cull your deck by taking a bunch of cards out of your hand, throwing them away, and taking these promo cards that are particularly powerful. And you're doing all that to build up a deck of cards that are going to combo with each other in the best way when you get to the tournament phase of the game, which is another phase of the game that you're going to be playing through. And in that phase, you're going to be playing 6 of your, I believe it's 8 cards your hand always is. Your hand that you take into the game, because you actually have a phase where you kind of build your deck, is a maximum, I believe, of 8 cards. You're going to play 6 of them, and you can have little accessories you bring in a deck box that's going to do other things. But in general, what you're doing is you are trying to score points. And you're going to score these points by playing out your cards in a tableau, and sometimes you'll be attacking other players, which might result in cards being flipped over, meaning they won't activate. Some cards will activate with other cards being flipped over, and you kind of get the idea that you're really just trying to build up a combo that works based on a massive amount of cards that you have access to in this game. The draw stack that you can get cards from is sometimes like this thick. It is huge. It is massive. There's tons of options. There's tons of expansions. Just the core box that I have has, I don't know, 12 little decks that you can use. It's just a ton of stuff. But at the end of the tournament phase, whoever has the most points, they're going to win that tournament, and you can kind of play through a series of different games and build up more decks and different things. But that's kind of the core idea of how this game works. So what do I like about the game? The first thing is I really enjoy the art. I enjoy it. It's this kind of this cartoony look, but I've had a few images up on the screen that I've just pulled off the internet. So you can see, I like the way the cards look, I like the artwork, and I like kind of the plays on modern pop culture as you're going through. I mean, there is basically a James Bond deck, there is a Super Mario deck, all these different things that are just kind of playing off of what is out there that we know in general. But of course, they're not actually the licenses, you know, the Super Plumbers instead of Super Mario Bros., those kinds of things. But all of that said, I think it actually works. I think the theme does work because being someone that in my youth played some Magic the Gathering, those sets are all disparate. But you start combining them all together, you get these weird combos that work, and cards from this set would work with this set, and I really do think the theme works well. I really think it comes through, and it does a lot of things really right. Along with that, one of the things that you have to do is you have to build wads of money. You actually have paper bills that you have to stack up and then wrap the money band around them when you get the game, and that's what you're actually paying for things with. And so you're just kind of tossing around these stacks of money, which is fun to do, but also feels thematic because anybody who played a collectible card game knows you spend a ton of money on these things. So having your $1 actually be a stack of money feels right with the amount of money that you pay when you're playing a collectible card game. So my point is, I think the theme actually does work. The next thing I'm going to say is there are so many options that you have in this game. There are so many decks that you can get, so many ways you can combine things, so many different characters that you can play. The options are seemingly endless. And because there's so many options, this is a game that really rewards lots of plays. This is really, to me, a mastery game. Yes, there is some luck that goes into what cards are going to come out, but the way you're buying and selling and the way that you can cull your deck by throwing a bunch of things away and get a promo card, that you're able to, again, buy other players' cards they put out there, buy things from the store, there are a lot of options, so it doesn't feel like it's that luck-based. It doesn't seem to me like you're going to win based on luck for the most part, but you are going to win the better and better you are at understanding what is out there, understanding what the possibilities are. I know this expansion set is in this deck. I know what those cards do, so I know that there's a good chance if I grab this card, it's going to do something that I want. And that can be very, very rewarding as you go through. Now, with all these options and all these cards, that means there is potential for a lot of AP, because you're just staring at these cards. What are they going to do? And one of the things that this game does that I think is really clever is it puts a time limit on the buying and deck construction phases. So you only have a few minutes to do it. So everyone's doing this at the same time. They're getting cards, they're tossing the money out, and it just keeps the game moving in a way that I think really, really works. And then the last thing that I'm just going to really hyper-focus on here is the way that you are able to manage your deck, I think is awesome. Again, the way you're selling your cards to get money to buy other cards, the way that if someone buys one of the cards you put down, so it makes it an interesting choice of which card you want to sell because you want them to buy that card so you get your sell token back. And then the way that you're able to turn in cards for the promo cards, I think is fantastic. I love the way that works because you are managing the size of your hand, the size of your deck. It's just great, especially when it comes down to you trying to pick which 8 cards you want to take through to the tournament round. Really, really all that works wonderfully well. So, what are my quibbles with the game? First thing is, when you get the game, I don't know, it took me an hour to build those stacks of cash. It takes a long time to do that. And when it comes to the setup, you are shuffling so many packs of cards together to make the stores. I mean, it is a ton of cards, and it's kind of the type of thing that you probably just want to play with the same setup several times through because the stack's going to be this big, and each of those little individual packs is like this big or something. So you're shuffling a lot. So you're going to be rewarded if you play multiple times in a row, or if you just kind of keep that big set put together and you just play with that next time you take it back out. Next thing I'm going to say is the real-time element. You're going to like that or you're going to hate that. And for me, I like it in the sense that it adds some tension to the game. But on the other hand, if you don't like being rushed, you are rushed. I mean, you have, you have plenty of minutes to do it, and I can't remember how many minutes it is offhand, but you actually have plenty of time to do all the stuff you need to do, but the second you put a timer on, people feel that pressure, and you might not like that pressure. Along with that, because there's so many options in the game, the first times you're playing through, you're going to feel overwhelmed, and that's going to compound with that timer, because if I've never played, I need to know what all these cards out there do as they're there. And so if I'm sitting there trying to read them, trying to look at them, someone just buy it out from under me, and I can't get access to it. And so what that means is, if you're playing for the first few times against someone who's played a lot, you're going to get whooped because they're going to understand what's going on. Or you're going to have to take a lot of time to go through these decks, understand what they do, understand how they operate, understand that, well, this might be in there, so maybe I should start trying to chase it. And so there's a lot of game that goes on around the game that you kind of have to understand to be particularly good at it, or you take away the timer, but then, of course, that opens it up to AP. Now, I'll say, that is very thematic to a collectible card game because there's all the game around the game that goes on, but it's just something that you need to understand. You're not going to know what all the cards do, and you're going to feel time pressure. And then the last thing I'm going to say is, thematically, it's weird. I mean, it's just this weird meta game. And you just might not like that. I'm kind of charmed by it and its weirdness, but it's bizarre. Like, you're not playing the game, you're playing the dude or the girl or the critter playing the game and buying the cards and hoping the cards in the booster pack. It's bizarre. And thematically, it works, so you have to kind of be into that theme, or you're just going to be like, what is happening here? But there you have it, folks. That is Millennium Blades from Level 99 Games. They were kind enough to send me a copy, which I appreciate. This is hitting Kickstarter this week, probably the day this video is out, or maybe the following day this video is out. There's a lot going on in this game. I think it's rewarding for the people who want to get into it and play a lot, who are going to put the time into playing, because if you're not going to put the time into it, you're going to be underwhelmed. This game is going to reward you the more you play, the more you understand the system, the more you start to master it, and that's where the fun of this game is. All in all, as I said at the beginning, this is one of the most unique games I've ever played, and it's a cool one. It's really, really well done. So, there you have it, folks. As always, if you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, share, maybe become a channel member. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.